Welcome to Escape.X History Channel, where we embark on a captivating journey through the annals of time to explore the rich tapestry of human history. From ancient civilizations to modern revolutions, our channel is dedicated to unraveling the intriguing events that have shaped the world we live in today. Today we delve into part 2 of the history, the rise and fall of the Persian Empire. The emergence of Alexander the Great marked a critical juncture in the history of the Persian Empire, reshaping the political, cultural, and social landscape of the ancient world. Alexander's conquests, spanning from 334 BCE to 323 BCE, had profound implications for both the Persian Empire and the broader Mediterranean region. Background and context. The roots of Alexander's campaign against the Persian Empire can be traced back to the long-standing historical tensions between the Greeks and Persians. The conflict had its origins in the Ionian Revolt for 9949 BCE and the subsequent Persian Wars, 479 BCE, where the Greek city-states, particularly Athens and Sparta, resisted Persian attempts to expand their influence in the Aegean region. The battles of Marathon, Thermopylae, and Salamis became iconic symbols of Greek resistance against Persian aggression. The Persian Wars left a profound impact on the collective Greek psyche. The victories at Marathon and Salamis were seen as heroic achievements that defended Greek autonomy and freedom against Persian tyranny. However, the memory of the Persian sack of Athens in 480 BCE fueled a desire for revenge among the Greeks, especially among those who sought to restore the honor and prestige of their city-states. By the time Alexander ascended to the throne of Macedon, Darius III ruled the Persian Empire. Darius sought to expand Persian influence into the Greek city-states, continuing the imperial ambitions of his predecessors. This expansionist policy, coupled with the memory of past conflicts, provided a backdrop for the conflict between Alexander and Darius III. Alexander's motivations were deeply influenced by his education under the renowned philosopher Aristotle. Aristotle instilled in Alexander a sense of intellectual curiosity and a respect for Greek culture. Additionally, Alexander inherited the military legacy of his father, King Philip II of Macedon, who had successfully unified the Greek city-states under Macedonian hegemony. The assassination of Philip II in 336 BCE thrust the young Alexander into the role of king, and he was determined to fulfill his father's vision of a united and powerful Greece. Alexander harbored a personal and nationalistic desire to avenge the Persian invasions of Greece and to establish his hegemony over the known world. The burning desire to surpass the achievements of his predecessors and to etch his name in history as a conqueror and a ruler motivated Alexander to embark on an ambitious military campaign against the Persian Empire. The battles of the Granicus River 334 BCE and Issus 333 BCE were early victories for Alexander against Darius III. These successes not only secured Alexander's military reputation, but also fueled his determination to continue the campaign. The narrative of avenging past defeats gained momentum, spurring Alexander and his army to press deeper into Persian territory. Alexander's campaign against the Persian Empire was not merely a geopolitical struggle. It was deeply rooted in the historical animosities between the Greeks and Persians, fueled by the memory of past conflicts and the desire for revenge. Alexander's personal motivations, shaped by his education and the legacy of his father, played a crucial role in driving him to pursue a military campaign that would ultimately reshape the course of history in the ancient world. The Battle of Issus 333 BCE. The Battle of Issus, fought in 333 BCE, was a pivotal engagement in Alexander's conquest of the Persian Empire. The battlefield, situated near the eastern end of the Cilician Gates, held immense strategic significance. Victory at Issus would not only secure Alexander's position in Asia Minor, but also provide him with a gateway to continue his march deeper into Persian territory. Alexander's success at Issus was attributed to his innovative military strategies. He utilized the phalanx formation, a hallmark of Macedonian warfare, which consisted of heavily armed infantry arranged in a tight, impenetrable line. Additionally, Alexander's brilliant use of cavalry, particularly his elite companion cavalry, proved decisive. He personally led his forces, displaying unmatched tactical skill and audacity on the battlefield. Darius III, the Persian king, committed crucial errors in his military strategy during the Battle of Issus. The Persian forces were considerably larger, but Darius made the mistake of underestimating the Macedonian military prowess. Instead of exploiting the advantage of his vast infantry, Darius allowed the terrain to restrict the mobility of his forces, hindering their ability to engage the more maneuverable Macedonian army effectively. Alexander capitalized on the weaknesses in Darius III's strategy by executing a brilliant flanking maneuver. He led a decisive charge with his companion cavalry against the weakened Persian left flank, striking directly at Darius himself. This unexpected and audacious move caught the Persians off guard, leading to chaos and confusion within their ranks. During the battle, Alexander's forces managed to capture Darius III's family, including his mother, wife, and children. This event significantly impacted the morale of the Persian forces and further weakened Darius's ability to command his army effectively. The psychological impact of the capture added to the disarray among the Persian ranks. The defeat at Issus forced Darius III to retreat, leaving behind his royal tent and treasury. The retreat marked a significant blow to Persian prestige and allowed Alexander to claim a symbolic victory. Darius's escape, however, also left the Persian Empire in a vulnerable position, with Alexander gaining momentum and the initiative to pursue further conquests. Following the Battle of Issus, Alexander continued his relentless march into Persian territory. He secured the Phoenician coast, capturing key cities such as Tyre and Sidon. The fall of these strategic coastal strongholds further weakened Darius's grip on his empire, while simultaneously enhancing Alexander's naval and logistical capabilities for future campaigns. The Battle of Issus was a turning point in Alexander's campaign against the Persian Empire. The victory showcased his military brilliance, exploited the weaknesses in Darius III's strategy, and opened the path for further conquests into Persian territory. The capture of Darius III's family and the subsequent retreat of the Persian king marked a significant shift in the balance of power, setting the stage for Alexander's continued march and the eventual downfall of the Persian Empire. The fall of Persepolis, 330 BCE. Persepolis, the ceremonial capital of the Achaemenid Empire, held immense symbolic significance. Built by Darius I and his successors, it was a testament to Persian grandeur and imperial might. The city was not only a political and administrative center, but also a cultural and religious hub where the Persian kings conducted lavish ceremonies and received tributes from subject nations. The fall of Persepolis represented a symbolic collapse of the heart of Persian authority. As Alexander advanced into Persian territory, his approach to Persepolis was marked by a blend of military strategy and respect for Persian culture. Unlike other cities he conquered, Alexander did not raze Persepolis to the ground. Instead, he sought to incorporate Persian elements into his own rule. However, his conquest of the city had profound implications for the Achaemenid Empire. In 330 BCE, Alexander successfully captured Persepolis after a relatively short siege. The city fell into Macedonian hands, and historical accounts suggest that it suffered some degree of looting and destruction. While Alexander is said to have intervened to prevent the total destruction of the city, the impact of the conquest reverberated throughout the Persian Empire. The conquest of Persepolis symbolized the end of an era for the Achaemenid Empire. The city, once a symbol of Persian power and opulence, now stood as a trophy of Alexander's conquests. The fall of Persepolis served as a tangible representation of the decline of Persian dominance in the region and the rise of Macedonian influence. Despite the military victory, Alexander demonstrated a level of respect for Persian culture. He allowed Persian administrators to continue their roles, incorporating them into his administration. Additionally, he adopted certain aspects of Persian court ceremonial practices, further showcasing his willingness to integrate rather than entirely eradicate Persian traditions. Alexander's policy of cultural integration extended beyond Persepolis. He encouraged the intermarriage of Macedonian and Persian elites, fostering a synthesis of Greek and Persian cultures. This approach, known as Hellenization, aimed at creating a harmonious coexistence of the two civilizations, albeit under Macedonian rule. The conquest of Persepolis marked the final blow to the Achaemenid Empire's dominance. Although Alexander retained elements of Persian governance and administration, the centralized power and authority of the Achaemenid kings were forever extinguished. The conquered territories were now part of a new Hellenistic world order under Alexander's influence. The legacy of Persepolis persisted in the historical memory of both Greeks and Persians. The city's fall became a symbol of the transient nature of power and the cyclical rise and fall of empires, while Alexander's conquests reshaped the geopolitical landscape. Persepolis remained a poignant reminder of the cultural and historical interconnectedness between the Greek and Persian worlds. The capture of Persepolis in 330 BCE by Alexander the Great marked the culmination of the Achaemenid Empire's decline. The symbolic significance of the city, coupled with Alexander's approach to cultural integration, highlighted the transformative impact of his conquests on the ancient world, shaping the course of history in the aftermath of the Persian Empire's downfall. Legacy of Alexander's rule. One of the most significant steps in Alexander's policy of Hellenization was his marriage to Roxana, a Persian princess, in 327 BCE. This union was not merely a strategic move, but a symbolic gesture aimed at fostering a cultural bridge between the Greeks and Persians. The marriage was meant to symbolize the integration of the two cultures at the highest level of leadership. Alexander's court became a melting pot of Persian and Greek cultures. He retained many Persian court practices, integrating them with Greek traditions. The royal court became a cosmopolitan center where artists, philosophers, and scholars from both cultures exchanged ideas, leading to a rich intellectual and artistic environment. To further solidify the integration of Persian and Greek cultures, Alexander actively encouraged intermarriage between Greeks and Persians among the general population. This policy, to create social cohesion and a shared identity among the diverse population of the newly conquered territories. The offspring of these unions were often referred to as Hellenistic, embodying the fusion of Greek and Persian heritage. In his effort to create a stable and efficient governance system, Alexander adopted certain aspects of Persian administrative practices. He retained local administrators and officials, incorporating them into his administration. This policy ensured the continuity of governance structures, while also showcasing a pragmatic approach to the diverse cultural landscape of his vast empire. As part of the Hellenization policy, Alexander founded numerous cities across his empire, often named Alexandria, to serve as centers of Greek culture and influence. These cities became hubs for trade, education, and the dissemination of Greek ideas. They were populated by a mix of Greeks and local inhabitants, contributing to the cross-cultural exchange that defined the Hellenistic period. The Greek language, particularly the Attic dialect, became the lingua franca of the Hellenistic world. The promotion of Greek education and language facilitated communication and cultural exchange. This linguistic unity played a crucial role in the dissemination of Greek literature, philosophy, and scientific knowledge throughout the former Persian Empire. The fusion of Greek and Persian artistic styles resulted in a unique Hellenistic artistic tradition. This period witnessed the creation of monumental sculptures, paintings, and architectural marvels that combined elements of both cultures. The blending of Greek naturalism and Persian ornamentation gave rise to a distinctive aesthetic that defined Hellenistic art. The Hellenistic period, which followed Alexander's conquests, left a lasting legacy that extended well beyond his lifetime. The cultural synthesis initiated by Alexander laid the foundation for the diverse and vibrant societies that emerged in the Hellenistic world. This period saw the flourishing of art, philosophy, and science, as well as the establishment of enduring cultural connections between the Greek and Persian civilizations. Alexander's policy of Hellenization, marked by his marriage to Roxana, encouragement of intermarriage, and the integration of Persian administrative practices, played a crucial role in shaping the Hellenistic period. This era, characterized by a unique blend of Greek and Persian cultures, witnessed the spread of Hellenistic influence across the territories once ruled by the Persian Empire, leaving an indelible mark on the history and cultural development of the ancient world. Division of the empire. In 323 BCE, at the age of 32, Alexander the Great died in Babylon under mysterious circumstances. The sudden death of the charismatic leader sent shockwaves throughout his empire, raising questions about the future of the vast territories he had conquered. Following Alexander's death, his generals, known as the Diadochi or successors, entered a period of intense power struggles known as the Wars of the Diadochi. The Diadochi sought to establish their own authority and control over various parts of the empire, leading to a series of conflicts that would shape the geopolitical landscape of the Hellenistic world. As a result of the Wars of the Diadochi, the empire was eventually divided among Alexander's generals into several major successor states. Seleucus Nicator, one of Alexander's most trusted generals, established the Seleucid Empire, which encompassed the eastern territories, including Persia, Mesopotamia, and parts of Central Asia. Ptolemy Isota, another close associate of Alexander, took control of Egypt and established the Ptolemaic kingdom. This kingdom would become known for its cultural and economic richness, centered around the famous city of Alexandria. Antigonus Simonophthalmus and his son Demetrius Poliorcetes controlled Macedonia and parts of Greece, forming the Antigonid kingdom. Their dominance in the Greek homeland continued to influence regional politics. The division of Alexander's empire had profound cultural and administrative implications. The Hellenistic kingdoms continued Alexander's policy of cultural fusion, blending Greek and local traditions. The Hellenistic rulers, though maintaining aspects of Greek governance, also adopted certain administrative practices from the conquered territories. Cities like Alexandria, Seleucia, and Antioch, established by the successors, became major economic and trade centers. These cities facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures across the vast Hellenistic territories. The Hellenistic period witnessed the spread of Greek culture throughout the former Persian Empire and beyond. Greek language, art, philosophy, and literature became influential, leaving a lasting impact on the diverse populations of the Hellenistic kingdoms. With the establishment of the Seleucid Empire in Persia and the surrounding regions, the centralized rule of the Achaemenid Empire came to an end. The political and cultural dynamics shifted, and, while Persian elements persisted in the Hellenistic kingdoms, the once dominant Persian influence waned. The Hellenistic kingdoms endured for several centuries, shaping the course of history in the regions they governed. Each successor state had its own unique cultural and political developments, contributing to the rich tapestry of the Hellenistic world. Alexander's death and the subsequent division of his empire among the Diadochi led to the formation of the Seleucid Empire, the Ptolemaic kingdom, and the Antigonid kingdom. The former Persian territories became integral parts of these Hellenistic kingdoms, marking the end of centralized Persian rule and the beginning of a new chapter in the history of the ancient world. Enduring impact. Alexander's conquests brought together diverse cultures from the Mediterranean, the Middle East, and Asia. The Hellenistic era, which followed Alexander's campaigns, became a period of intense cultural exchange. Greeks, Persians, Egyptians, and other civilizations were exposed to each other's customs, beliefs, and practices, fostering a rich synthesis of ideas and traditions. Cities such as Alexandria, founded by Alexander, and later by his successors, became thriving hubs of cultural exchange. The famous Library of Alexandria, established during the Ptolemaic period, attracted scholars and intellectuals from various backgrounds. This center of learning facilitated the translation of texts from different cultures, contributing to a shared body of knowledge. Hellenistic art reflected a fusion of Greek and Eastern influences. Sculptures became more expressive and realistic, blending the idealized forms of classical Greece with intricate detailing inspired by Eastern aesthetics. The combination of these artistic traditions resulted in masterpieces that adorned public spaces and royal courts. The Hellenistic era witnessed a shift in philosophical thought, moving away from the systematic approaches of Plato and Aristotle to a more eclectic and individualistic philosophy. Schools such as the Stoics and Epicureans emerged, incorporating ideas from both Greek and Eastern philosophies. This intellectual openness reflected the cultural blending that characterized the Hellenistic world. The Hellenistic kingdoms implemented a fusion of Greek and Eastern administrative practices. While Greek city-states retained their political structures, the Hellenistic monarchies incorporated elements of Persian bureaucracy, creating a hybrid system that facilitated governance over diverse and vast territories. The conquests of Alexander opened up new trade routes and facilitated economic interactions between the East and West. Cities like Antioch, Seleucia, and Pergamon became thriving commercial centers, where goods, technologies, and cultural influences were exchanged. The Silk Road, connecting the Mediterranean with the Far East, became a conduit for cultural diffusion. The Hellenistic period witnessed advancements in various scientific fields. Scholars in Alexandria and other Hellenistic cities contributed to astronomy, mathematics, and medicine. The exchange of knowledge between Greek, Egyptian, and Babylonian scholars led to a shared intellectual heritage that laid the groundwork for future scientific developments. Religious syncretism was a prominent feature of the Hellenistic era. Deities from different cultures were often assimilated into a pantheon, and religious practices saw a blending of Greek and Eastern rituals. This syncretism contributed to the formation of mystery cults and diverse religious movements that transcended cultural boundaries. The Hellenistic era eventually gave way to the rise of Rome, which absorbed many aspects of Hellenistic culture. The Roman Empire, in turn, became a conduit for the spread of Greco-Roman traditions throughout Europe and beyond. Alexander's conquests not only reshaped the political map, but also initiated a profound cultural interchange between the East and West. The Hellenistic era, characterized by a blending of Greek and Eastern traditions, had a lasting impact on art, philosophy, governance, and various aspects of daily life. This period laid the foundation for a shared cultural heritage that continued to influence civilizations for centuries to come. In conclusion, Alexander the Great's conquest of the Persian Empire was a watershed moment in history, bringing about the downfall of the Achaemenid Empire and paving the way for a new era characterized by the spread of Hellenistic influence. The enduring impact of Alexander's legacy reverberated through the centuries, leaving an indelible mark of development of civilizations in the ancient world.